collapse of civilization. Anarchy, genocide, starvation. Then when it seemed things couldn't get any worse, we got the plague. The living death, quickly closing its fist over the entire planet. And then we heard the rumors that the last scientists were working on a cure that would end the plague and restore the world. Restore it? Why? I like the death. I like the misery. I like this world!
Greetings and felicitations, children of technology. Welcome to the first episode of the Rush of Power radio program. I'm your host, Big Slime, and we're here to burn the metal YouTube scene to the ground. And from the ashes will rise a new era, free of wimps and posers, and lo shall the false ones despair when they feel the rush of power. Now, if you came here looking for some clean and corporate Decibel magazine metal coverage, well, you're in the wrong neighborhood, brother. But if you're into albums like Warning of Danger, Skeptic's Apocalypse, Worship Hymn, and The Awakening, then welcome home. Now, if you watched our exclusive behind the scenes video, you already know we're not exactly using the most up-to-date technology here at Big Slime Studios. So, if you're not into necro quality programming, I'm sure there's an episode of VH1's Behind the Music that you can watch instead. Here, you will find only the coldness and the darkness of Under a Funeral Moon. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if Fenris, circa 1993, showed up shirtless in a graveyard at some point during tonight's episode.
Did somebody say shirtless Fenris?
Hell yeah, brother. Metalheads, meet FANGFACE, the co-host of the Rush of Power radio program. So, FANGFACE, did you get tired of crushing normies off of the walls of Jericho for the crime of not owning the first Raven album, Rock Until You Drop?
Yeah, the wimps and posers had to leave the wall. But there was hell to pay. And now, I'm back.
Perfect, because we have an action-packed episode to get through here tonight. Let's begin with the first segment of the Rush of Power radio program, and that is Deadly Metal. On tonight's episode of Deadly Metal, we're going to be covering two bands from the 80s that I find to be highly underrated. And those bands are At War and Destructor. Now, it's no secret that America is the birthplace of thrash, which means that many bands were left in the shadows of the mega powers such as Exodus, Overkill, Nuclear Assault, and Slayer.
Some of the bands that never made it big belonged there, but that's not the case for At War or Destructor. Maybe they had it rough, not being from New York or California.
Good call, FANGFACE. I know that Razor thought that they had it tough being Canadian, but Virginia Beach and fucking Euclid, Ohio are not exactly remembered as the thrash metal capitals of the world either. Now, I know things were different back in the pre-internet days of the metal scene, but I find it hard to imagine long-haired dirtbags with Dark Angel and Creator patches on their denim jackets would hear At War or Destructor and think that the band sucked.
Yeah, dude. Both bands definitely had a gritty edge to them, mixing the hardness of heavy metal with a touch of bleakness from the mid-80s Cold War.
These bands are definitely not party thrash, and not that there's anything wrong with that, because Big Slime is all about a good time.
Let the good times rock.
We're going to be covering the debut albums from both bands, which are nothing less than Merciless Metal Maniacism. At War's debut album, Ordered to Kill, came out in 1986, which might have been the greatest year in the history of metal, putting it alongside such albums as Rain and Blood, Darkness Descends, Pleasure to Kill, and Morbid Visions, just to name a few. Being overshadowed by these titans might be one reason why this album is not quite as remembered as it deserves to be.
We need to talk about the album cover because it fucking rules. The band was doing the whole military and war theme a year before Sodom released Persecution Mania. It also reminds me of action movies of the time, like Commando and Invasion USA.
Yeah, war and exploitation movies were the main themes on this album, and the music was just as heavy as the subject matter. Now, At War was a power trio, following in the footsteps of legends such as Venom, Tank, and Motorhead. And although they were inspired by those bands, I'd argue that their sound is pretty original. In fact, there are some things that they do that are not very common in 80s thrash metal.
Yeah, check out the intro to Dawn of Death. With the spacious tom hits on the drums, it sounds like Into Glory Ride era Manowar playing dirty thrash. That section comes back again during the chorus, making it one of the slowest choruses in thrash history. But it's still completely memorable. The speed riffs come back in for the verses, but I find that chorus equally dark and heavy.
Take heed come the morning. We'll fight.
Memorable is definitely a word I would use to describe Ordered to Kill, as the riffs and vocal lines are constantly stuck in my head. The vocals are gruff shouts that inexplicably carry a sense of melody.
It's over. We're soft all over. We should have never even tried. Lost it. Men wanted. Who knows how many must have died. You brought it. We gave it. The fight that you have lost. Contenders. Surrender. Ironic human cost.
A highlight of the album for me would be the track Mortally Wounded, which again has pretty unique songwriting for a thrash band. The drums stop entirely, with vicious guitar picking underneath as the vocals kick in, before exploding back into chaotic intensity.
The lyrics on that track describe the experience of a wounded man dying in battle. Definitely a heavy-hitting song for sure.
You feel the bullet enter your throat. Drop to the ground on your blood start to choke. Gasping for air, feel the pain from within. Sense what real fear is, light slowly dims.
We can't talk about Order to Kill without mentioning the closing track, Eat Lead, which has to be one of the most metal song titles of all time. The song is about killing posers and sellouts by gunning them down, and has the best guitar solos on the entire album. A killer ending to a killer album that all of us here at Russia Power Radio can agree is deadly metal. Destructor's debut album, Maximum Destruction, was released in 1985, making it contemporary with albums such as Hell Awaits, Long Live the Loud, Bonded by Blood, and Endless Fucking Pain. And I would argue that it's just as heavy as all those other albums. Again, like with Order to Kill, we need to talk about the album cover, which I find to be completely over the top.
The band named themselves after an Exciter song, and they look like a B-movie copy of Exciter here. Which of course, at Russia Power Radio, is not an insult. No idea what the dude on the left is holding. Maybe some skull torch Halloween decoration? The guy on the right is wielding an actual fucking hammer, even though he looks like he should be in a German krautrock rock band somehow.
Well, there's no krautrock to be found here, only mayhem without mercy. The album begins with the intro song, which shows a sense of humor from the band as they smash things with a sledgehammer while a demonic voice summons them. And goddamn, you know an album's gonna be good when it begins with a scream like this one. band members Pat Rabid, Matt Flammable, Dave Overkill, and Dave Holocaust immediately pummel you with this title track, which is a song about nuclear war and its ability to unleash maximum destruction upon mankind.
Much like Sacrifice up in Canada, I think these guys were highly inspired by Slayer's brutality. The intro here sounds a lot like the Hell Awaits intro.
That isn't an issue, though. In 1985, Exodus and Creator essentially did the same thing, with the choruses to Total Death and Strike of the Beast being the same. Well, the next track on the album, titled Destructor, is definitely the highlight for me and can be thought of as the band's mission statement, and they are out for blood.
Every night, what we must do, what we believe to be right. We were born to navigate and steer. Power of destructors, what we fear. Black lights festering over the stage. Flash going wild, we're burning with rage. Floating with metal, we ride our domain. Won't sonic feedback drives us insane.
I've always been a fan of having a band member's name shouted out before they do something awesome. Dave Overkill shouts out his entire band here, including himself, which is so fucking badass.
Rapid! Come on, Flammable! Overkill! Own Holocaust!
I also want to point out how awesome the song titles are on this album, with songs such as Take Command, Overdose, Pounding Evil, and Instrumental. Instrumental sounds a little bit like one of the thrash metal versions of Iron Maiden, somewhat similar to what Overkill was doing around the same time.
Just like at war, this album was definitely a sign of the times in the Cold War, which is highlighted by the song Iron Curtain, which has one of the best choruses on the album. There can be no doubt that Maximum Destruction is nothing less than deadly metal.
Isolated from all mankind, sickled, shadow burning their minds. The Iron Curtain, the Iron Curtain, the Iron Curtain, changed by the force of their curtain. The Iron Curtain, the Iron Curtain, the Iron Curtain.
Destructor was definitely on the warpath in the 80s, but tragically, that would all be cut short in New Year's Eve of 1987, when the band decided to have a party to celebrate a new record deal, and bassist Dave Holocaust was stabbed to death by a belligerent asshole attending the party. The band would eventually dissolve before returning in the early 2000s. Now, I was born just a few months before Dave's tragic murder, And here I am, decades later, still listening to his music. We at Russian Power Radio would like to dedicate tonight's episode of Deadly Metal to the memory of Dave. And brother, as long as there are still metalheads like myself and other soldiers of the night listening to your music, your spirit lives on. You are, in fact, immortal. That's all we have for tonight's episode of Deadly Metal. And if you don't like At War or Destructor, then here's a song you might enjoy instead.
I'll wait till I'm married. I'm a virgin girl. I don't go down on my knees. I'm a virgin girl. I'll wait till I'm married. Don't try to touch me, please.
It's mysterious. Incredible. It's bizarre. It's nasty. Ronnie, I bet you wonder what all the excitement is about. Well, let's just go find out.
The excitement is all the nasty savages having their hair done at Flair Family Hair Care inside the Brandon Mall on Highway 60.
Take it from us, Nasty Savage, and get your hair done at Flair.
Flair Family Hair Care, Brandon Boulevard inside the Brandon Mall.
Warrior in a wasteland without mercy.
It's the little guy.
He has survived where countless others have died.
Good shot, huh?
He has destroyed all that would kill
We're out of
him.
control.
He is the only one who can face the challenges of the Dungeon Master.
You are a worthy opponent.
I don't believe this.
By the power of the
I dub thee Excalibur.
Coming up next, we have a track from American heavy speed metal band Interceptor. Now, Interceptor is one of our favorite new bands here at Russia Power Radio. The band plays an evil mix of Venom, Tank, Motorhead, Bulldozer, and I even hear a little bit of Exciter in there as well.
Yeah, dude. Some people have accused this band of sounding too much like Venom. Although I don't see why sounding like one of the best metal bands in history is a bad thing.
Hell yeah, brother. Saying that a band sounds too much like Venom, as if that's some kind of an insult, is the same thing as saying that a metal band is just too heavy. Metal Church had issues getting their debut album released because Atlantic Records also thought that they were too heavy, but I digress. Anyway, I can see what people are saying because the Venom and Motorhead worship has been done 1,000 times before. The difference in the key with Interceptor is attitude and songwriting. The riffs and choruses on this album are constantly stuck in my head. They are full of evil power, and you can hear that the band has metal in their blood.
Seriously, I'd say this is the best band doing this style in the last couple of decades.
Now, I'm pretty sure that I have been listening to metal longer than the members of Interceptor have even been alive, and I have to agree with you on that one, FANGFACE. In fact, I would go so far as to say that this is my favorite band playing the Venom, Tank, Bulldozer worship of true heavy metal. The band is keeping the spirit of Neat Records alive in the year 2024, and nobody can ever convince me that that is a bad thing.
They
Up next, we have a track from Black Death Occultists, Unspeakable, from their Gazed Upon the Yellow Side EP. Now, this EP was released by two killer labels, namely Headsplit Records and Stygian Blackhand, which is already a testament to its quality. The band plays an old school style of metal, which is a vicious mix of mortuary drape and onslaught, as far as my ears can tell.
There are also some killer DB moments thrown in there as well.
Definitely. I even think I heard some Archgo riffs in there as well. Now, we here at Russia Power Radio have no problem with the second wave of tremolo-picked Nordic black metal. But bands that keep the traditions of 80s black metal alive will always stand out above the rest.
Don't kill me! Please don't kill me! Please don't! Please don't kill me! Please! Don't kill me! Don't kill me! Don't kill me!
I have ruled longer than most of you have lived. Now I'm old. My time is near. But only the strongest will take my place. We shall see in the battles of the next 2 days who will claim my kingdom, and whether good more evil will rule.
Evil!
So I expect.
Good evening, soldiers of the night. Welcome to the hour of 13, the witching hour. I totally forgot my own name, since I've been dead for a long-ass time. So you can call me Evil Spirit. My unhallowed soul is trapped here in Big Slime Studios, which isn't so bad as far as dismal locations to haunt on this mortal plane go. But being an apparition is still pretty fucked. Do you know how boring it is to spend an eternity as a disembodied stream of consciousness? I've had the fucking chorus to enter Sandman trapped in my head for decades, and I swear that is a torture worse than hell. Anyway, Bonesaw isn't exactly the easiest guy to talk to, so I might as well tell you what's been on my mind lately. Tonight, I'll let you know the top 5 metal band promo photos of all time. Just look at these Spaniards, and you can see they're the real deal. Completely covered in chains and leather, and bearing torches inside an actual fucking cave. The typical black metal WIMP of today can't even be bothered to leave his bedroom to take a promo photo. It's the shocking amount of closet doors and air conditioning vents that can be spotted behind those 150-pound virgins posing for photos before their mom drives them to their private tennis lessons. They immediately apply a black and white filter to the photo to hopefully impress goth girls on the internet. Well, I don't see any of that shit here. This is in full color, which is illuminated by fire. And the dude in the middle is an absolute unit. This is what black metal should look like. And I know what you're thinking. What's up with the helmets? Tell me, what's more metal than an actual helmet of medieval steel? The reason you don't see more black metal bands wearing those is because they lack the physical strength to wear this much badass gear for more than a couple of minutes. Well, goddamn, these guys really took the lyrics to Hallowed Be Thy Name seriously. Really though, this looks like snuff film footage that the FBI would find in a raid of some filthy rich televangelist's basement in a box with their laundered drug money and BDSM handcuffs. Anyway, actually portraying yourself dying is pretty goddamn death metal. The bangs, along with the massacre and incubus shirts, definitely reveal how old photo is. And despite being from the early days of death metal, I've never seen another band do something this fucking rad. Posing in a coffin is cool and all, but death by hanging is metal to the bone.
Excellent.
That is how I died, and who is more metal than me? Definitely not you, if you didn't like that sacrificial photo from earlier. Italian horror movie directors in the 80s had some kind of fascination with New York City. And that's probably because they saw this carnivore promo photo and thought New York must be the greatest fucking place on earth. This definitely captures the essence of that early era of carnivore. Battle stances taken in front of urban ruins, camo, long hair, primitive weapons, spikes, fur, all done with gritty B-movie aesthetics. Lost in an unknown realm, somewhere between caveman barbarians and post-apocalyptic warriors. And done with full awareness that everything badass also must borderline on the absurd. I seriously doubt anyone in the metal scene today would have the balls to pull something like this off.
Flawless victory.
When looking at this photo, there's no question about what genre of music this band plays, which is more than I can say about most Swedish death metal bands after they've done 2 or 3 albums. This is purely and unapologetically metal. On a scale of 1 to 10, I would rate this Manowar plus 10. A bunch of long-haired heshers emerging from a fog-strewn street, looking like extras in a movie from Cannon Films. The fact that there are not 1, but 2 firearms in this photo is so American that it would make John Schaffer stand and salute the flag. There's even a goddamn sheath blade in there for good measure. The fact that it's being carried openly and not concealed also makes it street legal in California. I also fully support that no one in this picture is smiling, because there should be no smiling in metal. And now we get to the cream of the crop, the most metal-looking guy in the 80s, none other than Nasty Savage's Nasty Ronnie. Now, Nasty Savage as a band already looked cool, but Nasty Ronnie really plunged their image into the depths of insanity as the ultimate rocker maniac. This absolutely mental promo photo of Nasty Ronnie posing with the wrestling tag team Daughters of Darkness was the first picture I ever saw of him, and is so over the top it only could have been conceived in the wastelands of Florida. The weightlifting belt and spiked codpiece isn't even the most outlandish shit I've seen on him either. In some photos, he looks like he could be the 5th member of INRI era Sarcophago. In others, he He's wearing armor that definitely gave Glenn Benton ideas for 1987 to 1990 era Amon and DSI. Not only is he the only metal musician insane enough to survive smashing TV sets over his head, but he is the only metalhead cool enough to be seen hanging out with the Taskmaster, Kevin Sullivan, and Woman in their prime. Seriously, nothing but fucking class from this guy. Yeah, I know you're thinking I'm some kind of nasty savage fanboy, and I can admit to that. Considering I'm just an apparition, I'm comfortable enough with my sexuality to admit that if it was 1988 and I saw Nasty Ronnie hanging outside the venue after a Sabotage show in Tampa, Florida, I would allow myself the pleasure of asking him to join me for a post-concert snack at Taco Bell. I would even let him have the free refill on my large Mountain Dew Baja Blast. Alright, fellas. Even though I have an eternity ahead of me, that's about all the time I have for tonight.
We hope you enjoyed this debut episode of the Russia Power Radio program. And if you didn't, well,
Fuck you.
new episodes are already in production. And on our next episode, we will be covering UK death metal legends, Benediction, and Cancer. Fucking Cancer.
More death metal songs. Yeah.
Until next time, stay slimed.
And the rush of power!
The victim steps out on the sidewalk. He puts his ear down to the ground. He's being hunted down for the last time. He gets a chill and he turns around. He will lose. No! He starts to run, only someone behind him. He feels the sweat dripping down his back. He sees a shadow in a cold dark alley. Now he knows it's time for attack. Yeah. 'Cause he's a better, he's one of a kind. You know it started from within his mind. He's a better off dead, live in hell, or put the gun up to his head.
of our broadcast. On behalf of everyone at Big Slime Studios, we thank you for watching. Good night, and see you in hell.